Okay, thank you very much, Anne, for that lovely introduction. It's overwhelming at times, definitely now, looking at all of you lot. It was definitely better sat on the front row. So I'd like to thank you all for having me here, and also for allowing some of my team to come as well. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Emma Cooper. I'm 33 years old. You probably have seen the pictures on Facebook and all the jokey messages if you follow anybody on there, which you shouldn't be, you should be building your business. What I'd like to say though is probably give you a warning first. I am horrifically blunt. My team will vouch for that, won't you? I am completely honest, so what I say today you might cringe and think, did she just actually say that? Yes. Because it's the truth, and I think it's really important that you know the truth from the beginning. So it doesn't matter at this very moment in time where your business is. The good thing about this business is you draw a line in the sand and you start the very next day or the very next minute. So when you're on the way home in the car tonight, if you're not driving, if you're me, you're probably driving because I'm not a cop anymore and I can text and drive now. I drove off to the police station like that. Yeah, but you can start again at any point. So let's have a look at my background, and you can see why I'm not very clever. Obviously, I thought Singapore was in France. I don't have any qualifications whatsoever, apart from 6 GCSEs, which I scraped by the skin of my teeth, which that got me into the police. Before the police, my background is very, very varied. I have never, ever been consistent with anything. I flitted from job to job to job. I had definitely problems with self-belief. I didn't really think that I would ever be successful. I thought all I wanted to be really was a mum. When I was a lot younger, that changed as I got older. So my mum actually said to me, what about joining the police? Are you joking? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But a couple of years down the line, I joined the control room in Web Police, and I saw some training. I was watching some police officers training new recruits, and I was watching them from behind the curtain thinking I could do this. But I was too embarrassed to join my local police force because I had a lot of confidence issues. So I thought, there's no way I'm gonna, in front of people I know, stand there with a baton, pretending to hit people, shouting, get back, get back. I'd be too embarrassed to do it. So because of that severe confidence issue, I moved 3.5 hours away from my family to join Greater Manchester Police, simply because I was too embarrassed to do that in front of people I knew. So I had a lot of confidence issues, really bad confidence issues, really. When I joined, warning as well, I'm very emotional still. So when I joined the police, it was like a dream come true. It was the best job. I absolutely loved it. There wasn't anything that I hated about it. I worked every single day, and that's definitely testament to my work ethic. It doesn't matter. Once I found something I loved, I was willing to put everything into it. So I worked every single day until I met my husband, Sean. And then, of course, you know what it's like when you fall for somebody. I didn't want to be in work at all. I wanted to be off with him, but he was a police officer as well. And so our shifts very rarely fell into line where we had a day off together. So in the last 7, 8 years, we probably ate breakfast, before forever, ate breakfast together maybe 2 or 3 times when we didn't have to book annual leave. It's a really tough job to be in for time. And it literally rules your life. They tell you, even if you have a day off plan, they can cancel it at any moment and say, actually, you're coming into work on Saturday. I got assaulted a couple of times, and my confidence issues that I'd had before definitely raised their head again. And I suffered with anxiety. I still do. That's why I'm stood here pinching my little finger, so I don't have a panic attack and drop to the floor. That would be cringe. Yeah, so I had really bad anxiety problems. Now, I used to be, like I said, I'm really blunt with people, and I used to think like, oh my God, get over yourself, an anxiety attack, like breathe, seriously, it can't be that hard. And I suffered with those, and they're horrific, you literally feel like you're going to die. I've also suffered with bouts of depression, and you know, things haven't been easy, but you just plough on, don't you? You get over them, you do what you have to do to kind of develop yourself. So when I got assaulted a couple of times in the police, that really made me lose faith in the police, because you were expected, even with black eyes and a broken nose and a thick lip, to go back in the next day, cover it up with makeup, and you're sent back out on shift on your own. And I found that really hard, because I'd always felt like I was part of a family in the police, and that really didn't make me feel like I was part of a family. It felt like I was just a number. You know, jobs had to get done, and I had to go out on my own and do them. So those were things that I had to overcome, but they really made me hate, not hate, but just be really unhappy in my job. Then we were thinking about having children and getting married. And in 2012, 2 female officers were shot and killed on duty. Sorry. And it hit me hard. Yeah, it hit me really hard, and at the moment that I was stood at the funeral, I vowed to myself, I cannot do this for the rest of my career, and I won't. But, like I said, I've got no qualifications. I didn't go to college, although my mum thinks I did, so if you ever meet her, please don't tell her. I certainly didn't go to university, because I hadn't gone to college. So I felt trapped within my job. Juliana Woods, who is my sponsor, had messaged me, now it's 4.5 years ago, so before I joined Forever, 3.5 years ago, messaged me, offering me to have a look at the business opportunity. I said no. No, I didn't. I said yes, send me the link, and then I never watched it. I never logged onto the webinars. I completely ignored her. She followed up a couple of times and then probably thought, you ignorant cow. I'm not messaging you again. However, you've got to remember the power of that. So if you're sending messages out now and you're getting ignored, and believe me, it happens to me all the time, every single day. But if you're getting ignored, just think about what you're putting in there subconsciously. So subliminally, Juliana was sending me a message saying, Juliana's got a work from home opportunity. Juliana's got a work from home opportunity. Ignore, ignore. Juliana works from home. Ignore. But I always paid attention to her Facebook, and that's sent the message into me then saying, Juliana works from home, has got a lush car. Juliana works from home, going on nice holidays. Juliana working from home, sickeningly happy. So, when I was 30 weeks pregnant with my son William, I was scrubbing skirting boards in my bedroom. I had a weird obsession. I definitely don't have it now, but I wish I did. Scrubbing skirting boards in my bedroom at 11 o'clock at night, and Sean was at work, as usual. And I just started crying my eyes out. It was just a realisation that, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why am I having a baby when our lives are going to be rubbish? I'm 3.5 hours away from my mum and dad. What on earth were we thinking? And I just sat on the end of my bed and cried my eyes out. And so what on earth can I do? And then it was like a light bulb, ping, Juliana Woods works from home. Juliana Woods got a nice car. Juliana Woods goes on nice holidays. So you must remember, like, I will wait 3.5 years for an Emma Cooper to join my business. I'll wait, I don't care. So if that means I have to follow up with them just to put the message out there and continue to get ignored, I am willing to do that. Because you've got to think of what kind of residual income that will give you. So with every single person that I come across, I literally see £6,000 a month stamped across their forehead. Literally. So when the girls want about Claire's Accessories, if I'm in Claire's Accessories and there's a girl in there, I'm telling her about the business. I don't care what it takes, and no matter how petrified I am, I have a sneak peek, and the girls will tell you. I always look at William on my phone. He's my reason why. As soon as I look at him, I think, I'll do it. I've just got to do it. Tough, I've got to do it. So I will always find a way. So my reason why when I started was obviously William, and I think being so emotionally connected to your why is super, super important. And to be honest, it drained me in the beginning, hearing it on every training. I was like, all right, God, like everyone's got a reason. It doesn't have to be that powerful. You just want to make money, some people. But actually, it is, I think, the pivotal part of your business. Because if you are not focusing on the outcome, which is actually your reason why, then you're not going in the right direction. So there's a why test, and I want to share with you that this was the first thing I listen to in my business, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. My office is my car because I don't have time to read a book. So I listen to this constantly. I could probably rattle it off word for word, but I also put it into practice. There's no point being a training junkie, you have to be a doing junkie. So everything he tells you to do on here, I do. I don't think it's a coincidence that when I started listening to that, I really found some diamonds in my business because I followed exactly what he said. And also, just in personal life, it's fantastic. On The Compound Effect, they do a why test. Hands up if you've listened to The Compound Effect and you've heard the why test. Ah, see, there's not that many, that is crazy. Right, so everyone do the why test now. Think of your why. Close your eyes, think of your why. If you can imagine 2 100-story buildings. No, I've gone wrong, sorry. Still shut your eyes though. I'll start again, edit that bit. Okay, so the why test. Right, so if I put a plank of wood on the floor in front of you right now that's 6 inches wide by 30 foot long, and I say, right, I'll give you 20 quid to walk across that without coming off. Would you do it? Hands up if you do it. With your eyes shut, brilliant. You do it. Oh my God, who wouldn't? Are you mad? Do you not need the money? Get out. Seriously, I would do it. So, you do it because there's no risk. It's there on the floor in front of you, like, yeah, I'll give it a go for 20 quid. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to step onto carpet, nothing bad's going to happen. Of course I'll do it. If I put that plank of wood between 2 100-story buildings and said, here's 20 quid to walk across the plank of wood, would you do it? No. Of course you wouldn't do it, you'd be mental. You wouldn't, 20 quid is not enough, there's too much risk, you wouldn't do it. So if you imagine your why on the other side of that building, and that building is burning down, and I offer you 20 quid to go across there. If you're not saying to me, I don't need your 20 quid, Em, stick it, I am across that plank of wood, I am getting my reason why, and I am bringing it back, I don't need your money, and there is no doubt whatsoever in my mind that I would do it, then that is your reason why. You've got your reason why, that is exactly the right one. If you're crying, even better. Also, what I will say is if you're sat there thinking, I want more money, okay, so if I offered you 20 quid, would you do it? No. Goal setting comes into place. You have to be really specific. So if you say you want more money, how much do you want? If you say you want more holidays, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Would you walk across the plank for an extra holiday a year? No, because if you die, you don't get to go on the holiday. So it has to be something where I know if William and Sean were on the other side of that building, I would be across there, carrying them back, and there is no doubt in my mind whatsoever for a single second that I will be able to do it. That's a good reason why. Yeah, you need to be connected with that just like you need to be connected with your goals. When I think about my goal isn't a picture of a pretty house. I can feel, and this is how connected I am, the gravel under my feet as I walk to from the driveway to the door. I don't know what the house looks like, but I know the feel of the door under my fingertips, so I know that it's going to be a wooden door, which is weird because I thought I'd have a brand new house. So it's a wooden door where I'll be. I know how that house smells when I walk inside it. I know who is there. I know how much room there is that side and that side. I can't tell you what it looks like, so I don't know what my sofa's like, I don't know what my kitchen looks like, but I know how it feels. Completely different to just putting a picture on your goal board of a really nice house that you may one day like to live in. It's completely different. And so if you're not on that level with your why and your goals, you need to get on that level, and quick, really quick. Because that is what is going to propel your business forward. So I started with a massive why and I had a really tight deadline. I had 10 weeks before my son was going to be born. So when I looked at the marketing plan, I saw manager and thought, hell to it, that's where I need to get to, and I need to get there really, really quickly. So I set to work. And I don't mean set to work by doing nice labels for my products and all of that. I did not do that. I started speaking to people. I started using my Facebook well. The amount of people I see with negative posts on their Facebook, and you might not even think they're negative, but they are. Oh, it's raining, I'm stuck in traffic, this, that and the other. Like, no one cares. If they like it, they're really sad, because it's rubbish. Nobody wants to join miserable, nobody wants to join indifferent, Nobody is going to look at your profile and think, I really want to be like her, if you're doing that on your Facebook. Nobody wants to. So like Ange said, it's a shop front. It is so important. And you need to think about who you're wanting to attract into your business. So if you're putting on there how busy you are with your business, that's not going to work, because people don't want to be mega busy, but people want to see you having fun. So everybody should be updating their business pages while we're here now, taking a photo of me. Don't put my full name on there, because they'll come and find me, because I might be more successful than you right now. So don't put my name on there, you can put my first name, and you can say what I've done. That's going to cause interest, isn't it? And it's not going to direct people to me, it's going to direct people to you. And have a look at your Facebook. So once you're directing people to your Facebook, you need to run it well. Because if tomorrow you think, oh, I contacted 10 people last night, no one replied, this is crap, it didn't work. Let me tell you, I contacted 300 people in 21 days from my Who Do You Know list. 2 people joined my team from that. 2 people. Don't put a photo of me doing that, they'll think you're joining some cult. 2 people joined my team. Now, you could be honest with yourself now, because I have messages from my team saying, no one's interested. Honestly, I've been messaging people, no one's interested. Okay, love, how many people have you messaged? 25. I'm like, are you joking? Come back to me, love, when you've messaged 300 and only 2 have joined. Then tell me it doesn't work. Because I was so excited about those 2 people joining. I didn't care about anything else. I was like, brilliant, this works. Because I was willing to put the work in. But what's different about me is I'm really consistent. I do it every single day. It doesn't matter what's wrong with me, I stick to it I will never miss a day and think, oh, I'll do double tomorrow. Never. Because the moment I do that, the moment I'm breaking a habit, and you have to keep your habits, that's why they're habits. It only takes 21 days to form a habit, so start now. Message. At the beginning, I message 15 people a day, never fail. I told 15 new people about the business. Now I tell at least 5, because my business, my pipeline's always full, they're always joining my team, so, it works well. So I only need to tell 5 people now. So the other night when my son was really ill, my mum was in hospital, my sister was poorly, I had a product launch, the usual. Then I had only told 3 people. I was like, oh my God, right, I need to. So I messaged the 4th person, and then a Dunraven Windows sales guy came to my door at 9 o'clock at night and asked me if I wanted to know about bifolding doors on my patio. I'm like, no, I don't. However, I'm buying my dream home in a few years, mate. I don't need bifolding doors. However, what I did was prospected him. And I said, oh, you must love your job to be out this late. He's like, are you joking? I hate it. Of course you hate it, I knew that. That's why I asked him. I was like, really? No way, it's such a tough job, how do you do it? And then he goes on about himself for a while, and I'm like, come on mate, I'm studying in my pyjamas. So then obviously I said, you should do what I do. Gosh, if you find this easy, you'd find that a dream. Told him what I did, briefly, really, all I ever say, and that contact marketing is amazing, and I do that sometimes, but all I ever say is, are you on Facebook? Yeah. Add me on Facebook, I'll send you some information, so they add themselves there and then. I say it's a really visual business. It's easier for me to send you some information. I just send them some information. It saves me the time then. Maybe I'm a bit lazy. But the quicker I do that, the more people I get to speak to. So, with running my business this way and being so consistent and starting off with a massive momentum. So, you all know probably my story about recruiting my first team member, which was my bestest friend, Lisa Prescott. I don't know why I'm emotional at that, but I love her. I text Lisa saying, get your skinny arse around to my house tomorrow, bring £200, I found our ticket out of the police, and she texts me back saying, fab, whatever it is I'm in. I was like, oh God, this is so easy. So Lisa joined straight away, and we built that momentum together. So what that meant was in December, I ended on 25.426 case credits, and I got paid £324, it was actually at £29, but I was counting. £324 and £24.29. And my husband was not supportive, as in, he said it was never going to work, you'll never earn any money, the usual guy stuff. And that just drove me more. I just thought, I'll show you, and I'll not speak to you for 6 months until I do it, which I didn't. But as soon as he started seeing a bit of money coming in, he was okay. But if you saw this in your first paycheck, or you see this month and you think, you know what, I'm working loads, that's crap, 324 quid, then I understand what you feel like, because if I'd have thought that, which I didn't, but if I'd have thought that the first month, I had probably put about 180 hours into my business. Not income generating activity though, there's the catch. But I had probably put about 180 hours in. Where I found it, I've no idea, but I worked every second of every day that I physically could on this business. When my husband went for Sunday lunch with his parents that we did every Sunday, I didn't go, I stayed at home. When he went to the gym every night, I didn't go. When he would go to Tesco's to do the shop, I'd say, no, I've done it online, just go and pick it up, click and collect. I don't have the time. I could earn more money sat here on my computer or going out telling people about the business. So what I was prepared to do was make sacrifices. I don't care how big they were, and I've made a lot. I don't care how big they were, I was prepared to do it. That's the difference. I am prepared to do what other people are not prepared to do, and that is the only difference. So in December, that meant I went supervisor after 2 weeks of starting my business. And then I took it seriously, really seriously. Not that I didn't from the beginning, but this is when I was like, right, now we're doing this. So then I said to my husband, right, I need to get this manager thing smashed, and I need to do it really quickly. I had a set date for manager, February the 14th. It was in my diary, I'd written it down that I was going to be a manager by then, no matter what. I didn't care what it took, I was doing it. So I had really clear goals, and I knew where I was going, and I could see and feel the end outcome. So what I did was I came completely out of my comfort zone. I told you I suffer with anxiety. And I literally am like petrified, but you find a strong enough why and you will do anything. So I will do anything, and I mean anything, for my son and my husband. I don't care what it is. Standing here in front of you, sweating profusely. I don't care what it is, I'll do it. So that was the difference. So I was willing to get out of my comfort zone. And so I did that by hosting BPs at my home at first. So I was sat on the floor with Juliana, heavily pregnant with a broom, with a couple of people from my team, because I sponsored the couple that had answered. And they brought a couple of guests each. I had a couple of guests there, and I did the business presentation. I'm sure I was absolutely rubbish. I can't remember even doing it now, but I'm sure it was awful. But I did it. I held those every week at my house. I did Lisa's one-to-ones with her. I helped all my team members sponsor straight away. And so we started duplicating quickly. So now we host a business presentation every other week in Manchester, which you're all welcome to come to. It's in Ashton-under-Lyne at the Village Hotel every other Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And it's in front of about 130 people every other week. It's petrifying. I am back and forth that toilet at least 3 times before I start. I am terrified, but I have to do it. That's the difference. I have to do it. I don't want it. I need it. So I don't make any excuses whatsoever. I just do it. So we host the business presentation. I've heard so many people say, oh, there's not one near us. Oh, yeah, there's not one by me. Oh, I wish there was. I'd go to it. Set one up yourself. I did it. Doesn't mean you can do it. As long as you learn that business presentation, why not? I learned that business presentation on the first night that I joined Forever. I didn't even have my box. I watched it over and over and over and over and over again. I didn't have any sleep that night because I was presenting the business to my best friend in the morning. I could have Skyped with Juliana or FaceTime Juliana and say, Ju, tell her about it, tell her how amazing it is, but I didn't. I knew that I had to do it. She was my best friend and she trusted me, so I needed her to have that faith in me. And so really, looking back now, I realised I was becoming a leader from the very beginning. So don't take the chicken way out. This is your business, nobody else's, not mine, not Angie's, not any of your uplines. This is for you. The amount of messages I get saying, oh, I wish I could swap teams, my upline, oh, they don't do nothing. I couldn't give 2 hoots if Juliana stops tomorrow. Who's above Juliana? Natalie stops tomorrow. Whoever's in that upline, I don't care if they all stop. I'm never stopping. I don't care how long it would have taken if it hadn't gone this quick and if I hadn't have had all those beliefs in the beginning. If this had taken me 10 years to do, I'd have done it. You could take my whole team off me tomorrow and say, oh, I'm really sorry, start again. No problem. I'll do it quicker because I know exactly what I'm doing. So I will do it again because I need it. I don't just want this. I need it. It has to happen. So I have to do things. So, no excuses. I work constantly. Juliana tries to tell me it's very important to have one day off a weekend, adjust your family. I'm like, I know, I will. Yeah, I don't. Because I'm not where I want to be yet, and I'm prepared to do it. I make no excuses. The photo on your left is me in labour. I did 3 planning meetings. It took ages, it was like 42 hours in labour, I was bored. So I did planning meetings. There are pictures of those, I am not putting those on there. Yeah, so I my son was very, very poorly. After we took him home, he ended up back in hospital loads of times. I held rolling trainings from his bedside. I went to every manager's academy, I've been to every single success day, I've been to every single business presentation. I've never missed anything. I'm too scared of missing out. I think I'm too nosy as well. I'm like, what's going on there? I want to know. So, you need to have a look at your team and where it is today. And if it's not where you want it to be, then first of all you need to go to your why. Is it your why? Secondly, you need to look at your goals. Is it your goals that aren't clear enough? You're not going for the right thing? That needs to be right. And is it that you're not actually prepared to do it? Is that why? Because be honest with yourself, like actually no, I'm not prepared to work that hard. You know? You need to be honest with yourself. But if you are prepared to do it, then get ready to be really, really busy. The difference in the next 2 months, I really find out who I want to work with in my team is a real test for me. Because December, normal people, might switch off. I go up a gear because I think everyone else is switching off. I'm going to really rock this now because think of your pipeline. There's 6 to 8 week lead up time that people talk about and you think, oh, come on, really? If they're going to join, they're going to join? No, it works. 6 to 8 week lead up time, there is one. So if you think about it, the people that you're telling about the business today, in 8 weeks time, that's the end of January, fine, fantastic. Or even the beginning of January, if you do nothing in December, you may as well have just sat on your bum January, February, March, because you won't have a business then. You need to work now to see the benefits then. Yeah? Think of all these qualifications. Imagine if I'd have done that when I started in December and thought, oh, I'll start in January, you know, after Christmas and, you know, all of that. I wouldn't have hit what I've hit if that was the case, because I would not have built up that momentum. So use now to build up your momentum. If people aren't joining your team straight away, do what Dave O'Connor does. If someone says no, we put both hands in the air, all of you do it, and just say, fantastic, next! No, I don't want to say it, there you go. Fantastic, next! That's what he teaches us to do. And I'm telling you, it turns your mood around straight away. Sean hears me in the office say it, and he literally comes up and he's like, another no, love? I'm like, yeah, they'll be back. I'm like, fantastic, next! And then, it's not like love, yeah, just ignore me. He's like, the baby's asleep. I'm like, fantastic, next! So we must use that. So I never make any excuses. I am at everything. I'm not just a training junkie, I'm a doing junkie. Set the pace from the start, I've already spoken about that. If you remember, the start is at any point, so you can do that now. When you leave here tonight, you can do that. It's really important, pace, because if you're excited, you're building momentum, people want to come with you. They don't want to be left behind. You want the right ones to come with you, of course, the ones that are prepared to do it, but if they're not prepared to do it, they're not really building up much pace anyway. Don't write people off either. You never know when someone will click, find their reason why, you know, have their light bulb moment, as we call it cheesily. But it's right, you never ever know, so never write anybody off. You know, if they haven't done anything for a few months, I know senior managers in the business that didn't do anything for 6 months. But their sponsor killed them with kindness, like Aaron said, and they'll come back. When they're ready to do it, they'll come back. You know, and you can't make people want it. But if you're in the right mindset, you'll be putting out those things that attract people that are similar to you, that want the same things as you. So in January, that meant I hit assistant manager and manager. I ended on 101.879 case credits, and I earned £1,521 and 31 pence. Well chuffed, you can imagine. That was nearly my police wage. My police wage was £1,600. This was it. I knew it worked. So now, Lots of people I know who get to manager say, oh, I got there and I thought I'd made it. See, I felt completely the opposite, which is obviously lucky for me, because it worked well. I felt the opposite. I thought, like, this is the beginning now, so now I've got to really push it. So then, literally, I would be getting 3 to 4 hours sleep a night, feeding the baby up in the middle of the night, doing my schedule, posts ready for the next day. I went 1,000,000 miles an hour. There are so many incentives in this business for you to focus on. What is it that you're doing it for? To get to manager is just lose your why, lose your goal. I don't understand why it happens. I don't have to understand, obviously, but I need to help and coach people to be able to find it again. So get back that focus and get back into the game, however, faster than you were doing it before. So I target myself all the time to reach manager again, and quicker and quicker. Did it in 5 weeks once. So you have to do that with yourself. And if you are managers in the room and you kind of lost your way a bit, then here is the time you need to find it again. Because the longer you leave it, the more procrastinating you do, the more obstacles you put in your own way. They're not really there, but you put them there. So you really need to go back to square one, start your business again, in the right mindset, of course, and you will attract the right things into your business. When I hit £1,521, Lisa Prescott and myself were sat in the Celtic Manor having a coffee, and I could afford it then, they're £4.50, so expensive. We were sat having a coffee, and I started laughing, and she was like, what's so funny, Anne? And I said, I find it so hilarious, babe. I said, I'm sat here in all my Primark clothes, and people don't realise I'm earning 15 grand a month. And you can imagine her face, she was like, you are flipping nuts. I'm like, you laugh at me, but I'm telling you it'll happen to me before it happens to you, because I feel like I already have it. I feel like that's all. I know I've earned only £1,500, but honestly it feels like 15 grand. I know how it's going to feel, and I know it's going to happen, and it's going to happen quick. So I'm telling you, just watch me. And 6 months later, there it was. So what I'm saying is, you need to feel those feelings. Okay, I was dressed in my Primark stuff, sorry Julia. I was dressed in my Primark stuff, but I felt $1 million because I had utter belief in the company, I had utter belief in myself that I was prepared to do whatever it took to do it. So I knew that I was going one way, and that was towards my end goal, my outcome. So, like I was saying before, you need to be a leader. Brings me on to this book, and these are all on sale outside, Barry the Book, Leaders. It is the most fantastic book, and if you are looking to find the key people in your business, in here it gives a brilliant test. If you've been given this book, and you haven't got to the part of the test, you failed. There's a test in here, and it teaches you really how to find your diamonds in your business, and to me that has been absolutely priceless, and I found a fair few diamonds by using this book. And I literally will read this every single night, but only a couple of pages, that's all, because I know I've read it all the way through already, so I know. And do you know when I said I haven't got time to read? So I recorded myself on my iPad reading this whole book. Cringe listening to yourself. But I didn't have time to sit and read it over and over, so I just play a chapter. Time smart, you've got to be time smart. So they don't do that on an audio, so I just audioed myself. But it's really important to be a leader, because if your team aren't performing now and you're one of those people go, I've had an alright month, but my team are crap. Actually, you're crap. Sorry. You are, because that's not a good leader. Blaming other people. Do you know, once my open business dropped by 100 case credits. 100 case credits, it dropped in a month. For no reason, I didn't make a manager, I have no idea. But I blame me. That's not my open business not working as hard as I did the month before. I could have sponsored more people. I can control that. I monitor it daily now, so I know where I'm going. I know exactly what case credits I was on last month, so I know where I'm heading. I monitor it rigidly because I won't let that happen again. I won't let myself take my eye off the ball and just assume it's going to happen because I'm doing the same activity. It's got to be the right activity. So you do need to monitor everything that's going through your business. But if you're not going to Success Day and you say, no, but if this is not an excuse, whoever you're upline, it's not an excuse, I literally can't get childcare. Okay, a reason for not doing something is an excuse. Sorry, but it's true. It's not a reason why you can't do it, it's an excuse. There is always a way to do what you want to do, or what you have to do. There's always a way. You can find a way, you choose not to work hard enough to find that way. You need to be on it. Like, we have the dates for Success Days next year. You need to be at every single one. You need to go to every single training, log on to every webinar. I've been doing this now, it'll be a year on December the 10th, and I have never ever missed one training. I actually do a 6-week rolling training program once a week on a Tuesday evening. I've done the same thing over and over again. I know it word for word, what I say, but of course I'm learning more, so I add more to it for my team. But I log in when other people are taking the trainings, and I listen. I've never ever missed it, because I'll never ask anybody to do what I'm not doing. So if that be listening to trainings, if that be putting my pet box out, if that be doing a product launch, if that be doing 8 to 10 case credits a month, I've never ever ever done below 10 case credits personal ever. And I retail. I do it all because I think if I do it, my team will do it. If you slow down, your team will slow down. So you have to be really careful. You're a leader now. If any of you have got even one team member, you're a leader. So you need to step into that. So that was assistant manager. We'll go on to the next one. So in February, I did 163.723 case credits. That was £3,016.17. So for me, that was almost double my police wage. When I got that, I was in labour. I was bouncing on my ball in the kitchen, and I screamed. And my husband came running down the stairs. My mum was sat with me. I was like, oh my God, when the recap came in. He came down, he was like, is he here? I was like, oh no, I got my bonus. He was really excited, obviously. And I said, do you reckon I'll have to go back to the police still? Thinking, yeah, right, I'm not going back. But I want to, obviously, it has to be his idea, you know, men, how they were, to be a good idea. And he went, well, if next month's a good one, maybe you can give it then. I'm like, ugh, have you nearly doubled my wage? Come on. So that was a great month. But the next month, of course, was March, and William arrived. And, oh sorry, no, I'm not at that bit, I'll stop crying. So in February, Lisa Prescott went manager. She was my first team member and my first manager. I think it was the excitement. The excitement that I had was rubbed off on Lisa. We are two completely different people. We really are very, very different. Similar in some ways, but we are different, especially business-wise. We run our businesses to a strict kind of process, but we are very different people. But Lisa got to manager, and then in March I ended on 179.563 case credits, £4,337.90. I was able to resign. Yay! So Sean said when he saw that figure, okay, you could resign now. I didn't actually resign until May though, because I was still on full pay. Every penny counts. So, in March, Will's arrived. And seeing your reason why is completely different to just thinking about it. So if your reason why is something that you can see and you can touch and you can feel, so much more powerful than it just being a monetary value. You have to think past that. What will that monetary value give you? You know, you have to really dig deep to find your why and your goals. Because if you think your why is a money value because you know that, oh, life would be amazing if I was on 15 grand a month. That's not enough to drive you. That's not enough. So you really need to dig deep to find those. So I remember walking into our living room and seeing William in his chair, and Sean and I like literally didn't stop crying for 10 days when William was born. Every time we walked past him I was like, oh. And he was exactly the same, which is really weird for like a massive caveman like Sean is. I was like, stop crying, it's so unattractive. So I remember saying to Sean, and that was definitely the moment when things really, really kicked up a gear. I said to Sean, you know, everyone's made a big fuss about what I've done in this business so far. They have seen nothing yet. I'm telling you, Sean, what I'm about to do is crazy because I will do anything for this boy. And that was it. So what happened then is in March, obviously I only sponsored one person in March because that's what I chose to do, because William was here. But what I chose to do is to help other people. I helped my team. I really went to work with working with all of them, and I mean all of them. So I helped everybody. I also put on trainings. When I say about what you're prepared to do, I had a cesarean so I couldn't drive. Sean would drive me, and I'm talking like to Wales, so 3.5 hours. We'd have William in the car with Paulie, bad number. But we would drive all the way to Wales. I'd do a product launch, he'd drive us all the way back. I would literally be walking into the product launch like this. Sorry, I've just had a section. I was prepared to do whatever it took, so I didn't stop, even when I had William. I just carried on. I was a little bit like an Energizer bunny. But I helped everybody else, and this business is about helping others. What happened is when you help that many people, you find your diamonds. So, in April, I ended on almost double the month before. So I ended on 326.790 case credits, and that was £6,457.18. So now I said to my husband, okay, so will you give up work, do you think, if I can earn enough? Thinking, you're so going to give up work. And he said, maybe next month. Maybe if you do a bit more. I'm like, are you kidding me? But that was fine, because I was prepared to do it. And I was consistent. So when I said I work deep within my team, when people used to say that, I think, yeah, but what on earth do you mean, deep within your team? What does that mean? It means work with every single person in your downline until their upline gets to manager. Because you really will find diamonds there, and it's not their fault if their upline doesn't have the same fire in their belly that you do. So you need to work with everybody. Don't leave it to anybody else to manage those people. They are your team. That is your income. You have to protect that. So if someone says, I'm fine, no, leave my team alone, I'm like, oh, love, do it in a nice way. I'm helping you. It's fine, you don't have to do it, I'll do it. Thinking, you don't have the fire in your belly, I know you don't, but she does. So I want to get to those people. So I make it a really good team environment that they don't mind that we all work together and closely. Consistency is key. This lady is Laura Warren. She was actually a third manager in my team, but my second manager, Kate, my friend, resigned. In her team, she only had 4 front lines, so Laura pretty much pushed her to manager, albeit Kate was recognised, but she only had 4 direct line. Laura was one of those, so I worked with Laura like I sponsored her myself. Laura went manager the following month, Kate resigned. And I found a few diamonds, which will come up in a second, from Kate's team. So this was my second manager, which made me senior manager. In May, remember I said about the 6 to 8 week lead up time? In March, I went mental because I could see William. I went absolutely crazy. Remember I said to my husband, you ain't seen nothing yet, you think I've done enough? That's what happened because of that. So because I worked with everyone deeply, and I did my work consistently, and I didn't stop when I had the baby, I still sent out my messages, I still stuck to those habits, that's what happened. Again, it almost doubled the next month. So 578.802 case credits, £10,935.60, these are all UK totals, and we have overseas teams as well, but that meant that my husband then said he would resign, which for me was absolutely huge. So, after May, we were still consistent. This is the power of working deep within your team. Lots of Mo's and Jo's. Third manager, then in May, my sister. My sister owns a massive, massive doll company called Bonnie and Pearl. Look at it on Facebook and like it and share it, it's amazing. Shameless plug. What my point is, though, about telling you about Bonnie and Pearl is that my sister works at least 90 hours a week on Bonnie and Pearl. Nicola got to manager, she did 3 promotions in 4 weeks, in a month. Albeit she was only a couple of case credits off supervisor when we went into the second month of her business. But when she started taking it seriously, she only did 2 hours a night on Forever. 2 hours a night. Whether she would always do her messages and she would go to a project launch. She's very strict with her time, so she's in and out of project launches. But she was doing income generating activity, and that is the difference. You can all sit on Facebook for hours and hours, but if you're doing the wrong activity, you're wasting your time. You know? It's like anything in this business. If you've started your business, and even though if you're sat here now thinking, I'm going to give this 12 months, I'm going to give it 12 months, and alright, if it doesn't work in 12 months, I've tried. Well done me, pat on the back. Give up now. You've wasted your money on your pack, you've wasted any time that you've put into it already, you will not succeed. You won't. If you've got that opinion, you won't succeed. But if you say to yourself, I am going to do whatever it takes for however long it takes me to do it, to be successful, to get to my goals, to achieve what I want to achieve, then I will bet my mortgage on it, or next month's salary, that you will definitely succeed. Is that working? No ifs or buts about it, you will 1,000,000% succeed. So I did say I was a bit blunt, didn't I? But it's true. So don't have that in your head, because actually what your mind is hearing is, okay, in 12 months' time I'll quit. In 12 months' time I'll quit. In 12 months' time I'll quit. It will pick out those bits. It won't hear if I don't succeed, because it's hearing don't succeed. So you see how your mind is really important. So Nick didn't use time as an excuse. She smashed it. Car plan level 3 then. Couple of new cars, that was great. I'm not really a car person, I gotta be honest. This is the power of Facebook though. Stupid me went and test drove a white Range Rover, a Vogue. I'm not really fussed, I gotta be honest. Juliana was like, yeah, you've gotta feel like you've got it. And I'm like, I'm not bothered. I love driving transit vans, that's my dream car. We're talking about this on the way up. However, what my point is, Facebook, you have to be clever. So I should have thought about it. I didn't want a white one, I wanted a grey one. But once I put it on my Facebook, me pregnant stood next to a white one, I then had to get a white one, because otherwise everyone will think, oh, she didn't have that car that she said she was going to get. So be careful what car you're going to have your picture taken with. But my point is, by running Facebook well, you can sell a lifestyle through things like this. You know, when you're hitting those incentives, which you will do if you do all the other activity that I've talked about. So car plan level 3. June, I ended on 661.835 case credits. That was £13,117.64. Fourth manager was my mum. My mum was 56. This proves don't judge. I judged. I thought she would be crap. And to be honest, honestly, I deserved her going manager just for literally about 1,000 FaceTimes over the course of a week, asking me how, and her big thick glasses up against the screen of FaceTime going, go on then, what do I do to copy and paste again? Right click mum, and she's like, it hasn't got a right button and a left button, it's a Mac. Yeah, so I deserve that. But mum's 56, my dad has got an amazing company, we've always lived in beautiful houses in the country, they've always had amazing cars, an amazing lifestyle. Dad taught us work ethic. Dad was always away working, building his business, giving us an amazing lifestyle. So I think that's where I got the work ethic thing from. When I started this, I didn't think it was going to be easy. I didn't think I wouldn't have to put much time in. I was willing to work and work hard. Working hard for me is not then sat down Sunday having a Sunday lunch with everyone thinking, have a couple of hours break. I just carried on, I just did it. So mum went manager, she was my fourth manager. She had to tell me when she was 5 case credits away, because I didn't even know. And she's done it all herself. You can't do it for people. You have to do it, they have to do it for themselves, and never judge. But the power of your mindset. When I earned £4,337, I started working with the most amazing man called Dave O'Connor. If you haven't heard of him, you need to find him. He is a genius. www.daveo'connoronline.com. He's got a mindset training, 21 days of action at the moment. I think it's about 60 quid. I have made sure that the key people that I want to work with have signed up for this, because they're the ones who are serious about building their businesses. Because actually, this business is 90% mindset. You know the saying, like, if you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right. That kind of thing. But in this business, mindset is absolutely everything. So when I hit that mark, I thought, okay, so now I need to find him and I need to work with him, because if your mind is the most powerful tool in this business, then I need that tool to be sharp. I need to know how I'm going to deal with these kind of rejections, you know, I'm going to deal with standing up in front of loads of people. You know, you need to work on your mind, but consistently, every single day. I wake up every single morning and I listen to Dave. I go to bed with him at night, listening to him, that is. So he is absolutely amazing. So if you can invest in that training, you definitely should do, because I think that's the only magical part of this business, is working on your mind. In July then, 654 case credits, £12,656.29. A little bit less than the night before. Was I bothered? No. Because my eye is on the end prize, my eye is on the outcome. And And actually, the test in this business, especially for someone like me who's never been consistent with anything that didn't go my way, would be to, oh, it didn't work. Oh, yeah, see, it's going to go now. No. So, I work doubly as hard, and I really, really get stuck in. 5th and 6th manager, Ginny on your left, was Kate, the one who resigned. Kate's one of her 4 recruits. I worked with Ginny really closely. In her first month, she did 2 case credits. In her next month, then she went to manager within 11 weeks. 11 weeks. She also brought a frontline manager through with her as well. So we have a flow and mo on that leg. What that should scream to you guys is chairman's bonus. Chairman's bonus. You've got it there set up ready. You just need to make sure now you just coach them through becoming great leaders, being self-sufficient, and that's fine. Also, another amazing manager, my 6th manager. So I went soaring with 6 managers. Sarah Williams, who's here today. Sarah, again, was one of those people, you know when they just want it, they want it. They'll do whatever it takes. Sarah had to tell me she was about to go manager. I'm going to do manager this month. I was like, oh, that's amazing. And I thought, shit, I better check her case credits, is she? I did 1 product launch for Sarah. Mindset-wise, you will attract people into your business who want it as badly as you do. I didn't message Sarah. She's got a W surname, so I haven't gotten to her on my who do you know list. Playing your Facebook right is key here, because Sarah contacted me saying, why the bleep are you so happy? And literally I said, oh, I just said, you'll be amazing at this business. And I do, and she said, yeah, whatever it is I'm in. I'm like, brilliant, another easy one. And Sarah, again, absolutely flew to manager. So it just makes you realise about your Facebook. And look, these are all people I know. So if you're too embarrassed to contact your friends about the business and you think, I'll contact market, that'll be fine. 1 in 20 people you don't know will join your team, but 1 in 10 people you know will join your team. Do your warm market first. That might give you 7 managers too. Next slide. In August, 675.601 case credits, £14,550 and 33 pence. And even when I say it and I see it, it seems absolutely ridiculous. You know, so for someone with no qualifications, like this kind of money is just insane. This is half of my annual starting police wage in a month. But it's the opportunity that you're all sat on right now. You can do it. You have to be as dedicated as I was. You have to be as prepared to do whatever it is that you need to do to get to that stage. But that just shows it is possible. So Andrew will tell you, last night when she was like, 5,000 case credits, amazing. I'm like, yeah, there was a 7.5 one though, I didn't realise that. But my point, Andrew's like, we don't realise how amazing that is. And I think, well, you say it's amazing. You guys might think it's amazing or whatever. But actually, don't limit yourself. The amount of messages that I get saying, oh, if I have half your success, I'd be happy. I think, are you mental? Why? Why would you be happy with that? Oh, I want to be the next whoever. Why be the next anybody else? Be the first you. Who's to say you don't start your business today when you leave here and you do double what I've done? Just because I haven't done it doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's totally possible. But again, it's up to how much you're willing to do and how much you're prepared to do. And then my 7th manager is Tamsin on the left. Tamsin was my best friend from school. I told her about the business the night that I signed up. She joined my business 6 months later. Yeah? Played my Facebook well, kept in contact a little bit. But the point is that just because someone doesn't join your business that day, don't stamp your feet, show off and think, oh, it doesn't work. You know, you have to be consistent. And if you're not, it won't work. But the consistency bit is the only difference between those who are successful and not. So my top tips then, and then I'll get off. I'm sure I've gone really over. If someone who's nervous, I'm sure right, so my top tips. Oh, it's on the next one, sorry love. Mindset, invest in your mindset. Go away and have a look at Dave O'Connor. Watch every single Forever Living YouTube clip that you can get your hands on, because knowledge is power. You don't need to saturate your mind with it by taking up time from your income generating activities, because your income generating activities are the things that are going to get you to where you need to be, but this needs to be the platform on which you do it. So you need to be attracting into your business the right people. So I tell myself every morning, and I can't believe I'm about to do this, but I do. I'm like, oh, I found a diamond today! and I'm telling you, someone contacts me that day to say I want to join your team. Every time I do it, I have to be careful how much I do it because I don't have enough time to go into the product launches. But I'm telling you, it works. If you dummy yourself into feeling like it's already happened, feel the excitement you're going to feel. I sometimes go on my Forever Living website and practice filling out the sign-up form. Weird, isn't it? But I'm telling you, within 2 days, I'll sign someone up. So if I think, oh, I haven't signed anyone up for a couple of weeks, and then I think, right, who's in my pipeline? I'll go look at my activity trackers. I'll dummy myself just doing a sign-up form. I've made myself look mental, haven't I? I'll do it, and a couple of days later, I'm typing it out for real. So you have to dummy yourself, and you have to invest in the mindset. It has to be a daily activity. Action. Like I said to you, it has to be income-generating activity. Setting up a nice office with whiteboards is a lovely place to work. It is not going to earn you any more money. Doing nice labels for your pup box, yeah, it's a nice thing to do. It's not going to necessarily earn you any more money. You really have to think about what is. Posting on buy and sell sites for Clean Nines is not going to earn you any more money. And what I mean by that is, you'll get a lot of interest from those people, from those places maybe, about Clean Nines. Lots of people want information. It's time out of your day, copy and paste, copy and paste. If you're doing that 30 times, let's say that's 6 minutes. In 6 minutes, I can message 5 people about the business. You know, that's going to get me a lot more money than posting on 30 flipping buy and sell sites. What a waste. Also, you put the company at risk. I'm sure you've all discussed it within your teams, of you approaching someone about the business and then going, oh, is that our forever thing? You don't want to do that. This is an incredible opportunity, and we mustn't cheapen it by posting constantly on buy and sell sites, constantly in people's faces. You will notice, if you look at my Facebook, I never ever, and I know we differ because you show forever on your profile, don't you? I've never ever mentioned the word forever. Ever. Other people do, but I don't. Because I think as well, what if they have looked on these buy and sell sites, oh God, she does that forever thing, so annoying. I don't want to be associated with it until I talk to them personally. So they can see my lifestyle, and then they ask me how I've created it. And then I can say, I work with the most amazing company. But I think what's really important is how you make the first approach. So if you send someone a massive long message, I will give you the message I send, word for word, if you want to write it down. I literally say, hi Sarah, how are you? You look fab, something personal on the profile about what they've done in the last couple of days or whatever, or a photo. And I will say, I don't know if you've noticed, I've recently started, if you've just started, or I work with, I run my own business. I've recently started my own business. I'm really excited to tell you about it. I think you'd be amazing because you hate your job, you haven't got enough time at home with the kids, whatever it is, or you work in beauty, you think you'd be great at it, you're easy to talk to, you've got a fab personality. I might be wrong, it might not be your cup of tea, but if you like, when you've got 5 minutes, I'll send you a quick link to have a look at. And that's it. That's all I send out. Tell me you can't send out 15 of those a day. Copy and paste, copy and paste. But obviously just personalise the one sentence, it's easy. I do mine the night before. So the night before, I will always set up my 5 messages for the next day. Throughout the day, then I'll send them, and I do that religiously. So I've already done my 5 ready for tomorrow. I'm very organised like that. I will do it in the morning, or the evening the night before, wherever it is in that day, I will definitely do it ready to post the next day. So action. Communication, you need to tell people about the business, obviously. I mean, we've talked about that enough, and I'm sure I've covered it already in what I've said so far. Teamwork. It's very, very important to work with your team. You need to work deep, but you also need to build an excitement within your team that is just infectious, that people just want to be a part of. So you're like a magnet for other excited people. They might not even know what they're excited about yet. It will be this business, but you will attract the same kind of people. And time smart, like I was saying just now, you need to do the right activity and you need to do it at the right time. Don't be posting on your Facebook at 1 o'clock in the morning that you just got home from a product launch, it was amazing, you're probably pissed. Don't be doing that, because most people don't want to be out till 1 o'clock in the morning working. You know, you do once you join and you see the vision, but they don't want to be doing that, so don't be doing that then. Save it for another day. Save it for your business page. You need to work out what is income generating activity in your business. So I would say telling people about the opportunity, doing one-to-ones. An empty diary is an empty wallet. A full diary is a very, very, very full wallet, consisting of the right activity. Business presentations, success days, one-to-ones, launches, pamper evenings, whatever it is, you need to be doing it. And commitment. You have to be committed. If you're, like I said, thinking I'll give it a go, it will work. If you're thinking I'll do it for as long as it takes, it will definitely work. But you need to be committed, and committed to your daily activity. This is not something to pick up Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday and put down. I am saying this if you want success and you want it fast. Obviously this business is here for you to work around your family. So if it is that you want to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fine, and then not touch it. But what I'm saying is, to do that, you would need to be more consistent and you would need to be more committed. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying any of you work it around anything else. No, it's not going to happen. What I mean is, it takes people varying amounts of time, but I can only tell you what I've done and the speed that I've done it at. And never give up. You have to be consistent. This is the difference between people who are very, very successful and people who just kind of plod along, is that consistency. So like I said about my 300 messages, lots of people give up before they get to that. God, I contacted 100 people and no one's joined my team. You know, even if I'd got to 297 people and no one had joined, imagine if I'd have given up. Imagine what I would have given up then by giving up at that point. You know, because when I contacted the 300th person, that 300th person was the second person who joined my team. You know? So you just never know. Imagine if Juliana had given up with contacting me. So you really have to put that into perspective and just work out what it is that you're willing to work for. Connect with your goals and your reason why, and I'm sure you will absolutely fly through the marketing plan. So all that has led to me qualifying 100 Club Level 2, and it'll be Level 3 in January. Chairman's bonus, 5,000 case credits, and Level 1+1. Networking pin Level 3, car PAM Level 3. What's it? And I'm going to France, yeah? I tell you what though, you all laugh, but I'm telling you, that's why people join my team, I reckon. They think, she's so thick, thinking, Singapore is in France. If she can do this business, anybody can. Sometimes you have to drum it down as well. So you don't want to be this super intelligent, amazing person that makes people back off and think, oh yeah, but she's, you know, by being humble and by being very down to earth, I think, and being able to talk to people, you can put across that, you know, you don't have to be anything special to be really successful in this business. I honestly believe that. I don't think there's any one thing that you need to be successful apart from the things I've talked about, but I mean in personality-wise, because we've got some really different people in our team, really shy people, really boisterous people, you know, my mum, you know, so you've really got to look at everybody. I think this business is for everybody, and it's certainly for you, and you are the people who are taking your businesses seriously because you're here. So well done to you guys, and thank you very much for having me speak.